Report is streamed live on our iHeartRadio app. Download it now.
It's partly cloudy and a little chilly this morning in Palm Beach County. We'll see what this is up for the afternoon. Temperatures will stay pleasant. Highs will be in the upper 70s. It then cools off into the 60s overnight, and the first half of next week will be rather warm. Highs will be in the low 80s. Storms look to return on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm Storm Team 5 meteorologist Tyler Malden for 1230 WVZT.
This report is brought to you by Lead Safe America. Does your child struggle to concentrate and pay attention? What looks like ADD or autism may actually be caused by lead poisoning. Lead is a neurotoxin. It can cause permanent brain damage. Find out how to protect your family. Go to leadsafeamerica.org.
1230 WBCT. The thoughts and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and don't necessarily reflect those of the station or iHeartMedia.
Hi, it's Leah, here to tell you about Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. He's a pain specialist located in southern Palm Beach County. So if you are somebody that you know is suffering in pain, Dr. Pannozzo is the one you guys need to call. And make that call today, because living in pain is no way to go through life. Dr. Pannozzo has been in practice now for more than 49 years. He's treated more than 73,000 patients for pain. He's an expert when it comes to diagnosing the pain, and he has had huge turnarounds. In fact, people living with scoliosis, he has had nearly a 100% turnaround. Lumbar pain as well. If you've got lower back pain, if you're suffering with migraines or flat feet pain, maybe pain in your elbows, your neck, your shoulders, Dr. Pannozzo can help you. And the greatest thing is he can help you without drugs, without surgery, and without having to go through weeks and months of rehabilitation. Give him a call today, set up an appointment. It's 561-381-5800. Tune into his show Sundays, 11 to noon. And now, here's this week's edition of the Dr. Pannozzo Sports and Medicine Hour.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is having a great...
Good morning.
Oh, the doctor... I'm telling you...
I'm singing.
Oh, you're happy then, right? Okay. So I guess we know that Dr. Pannozzo's here.
I'm happy I got up.
Hey, let me tell you something. The battle was to get up.
That's it.
And we've got Mr. Freddy from AMP2. We got the beautiful Linda sitting here on the board. Thank you, Linda, for being here.
Hey, Les.
And we got Les.
I want to wish Linda a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Linda.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Linda.
You're 21 years old.
She looks great, though. I'm telling you, Freddie. Got a hot little chick there. And we want to introduce, forget it. Who cares about her? Okay.
The board up.
Oh, the board up. Connecticut.
Connecticut follows us from the other shows.
The other show. Wherever we go, she follows us. Well, I want to give out some numbers first. So people who are listening and want to talk to the Dr. Pannozzo, it's 800-889-0267. And I'm not going to give this other number out because people tend to call them right away.
No, give it out.
Huh?
Give it
okay.
out.
It's 561.
I'd rather hear it ring than not ring.
381-5800. Where you can call Dr. Pannozzo direct and make an appointment. Doc, I know last week, well, it's actually this week, was a very successful week for you. Tell me about some of the new patients you saw so that our audience could understand what it is that you do. I know you brought all your files with you today. You had some amazing stuff. Frey, this is like amazing stuff. I mean,
he has like an encyclopedia with
him. Yeah, we have all his files here. Tell us.
Holy mackerel, what's all those files? What do you got there, Doc?
Well, I got these are actual files of people.
Right. So I said to him, bring some of them in, tell us what you do, and we'll go from there.
I didn't go through them to find out what we're going to talk about.
Okay, so while you're looking through them, let me tell you, we had a seminar, and we were lucky enough to have some people there that were really, really devastated with pain.
What question did you find at the seminar to be the most interesting?
The one I found is the lady in the wheelchair who has been in pain her whole life, and she couldn't believe that what he does is real. She was sitting next to a gentleman who has gone to him for many times. He was a...
Did he bring her?
Yeah, she was... No. She came with her husband.
Met
there. She said she heard it on the radio.
Right.
Okay, go ahead, Doc.
She was there in a wheelchair.
Yes.
Okay, that was Tuesday.
Correct.
Okay, so Wednesday, she came in using a walker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she came in Thursday using a cane, and Friday she went over to her friend and told her across the street without the cane.
Right.
And told her she should make an appointment to see me, which she did.
Wait a minute. She started with a wheelchair, a cane, and then she was
at the seminar in a wheelchair.
Yeah, she started with a wheelchair.
I saw her.
Yeah.
And then she walked around with a walker. And then that's when I saw her. And then the second day I saw her, she used a cane. And then the third day, nothing.
Nothing. She was walking with
She
nothing.
was walking around.
And she was pain-free?
Yeah, pretty much.
Holy
And
mackerel.
Amazing, isn't it?
She was 76 years old, and
That's old. That's young,
she
Doc.
had this problem from 2008.
Yeah.
And we
pretty
took
good.
it out in 2 days. I'm not making this up. This is
No, I mean,
you can't make this stuff up.
no, because if you made it up, no one
She
would
had
believe it.
laminectomies and toe surgery and foot pain, low back pain. I mean, it was
So she had multiple areas.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Not just one area.
No, and totally depressed, and couldn't even talk to her. I mean, she was convinced nothing could be done.
How was she on the last day when
Now,
you
see,
saw
this is
her?
kind of the thing I was talking to you about, Freddie.
That's reality.
That's a reality thing. She was improved before she left that office, and you can record all this from their very mouth.
Yes, I agree.
We don't make it up.
Doc wants to do a reality
Somebody was
show,
talking
ladies and
about
gentlemen.
having script writers. There's no script writers. The script is being made right in front of your eyes.
That's right. It's uncut and
It's
raw.
uncut.
Uncut and raw.
And know what we're going to do when we do it, Freddie? I came up that these are real patients. These aren't actors or actresses. I mean, people honestly think that this isn't real. This is so freaking, I said the right word, this is so freaking real that it's unbelievable. When I met this lady, I was talking to her, and she was in tears. She couldn't even talk.
Her husband had steam in the ears.
I'm sorry, steaming?
Steam.
Steaming ears.
Never heard of that.
In the ear. Well, it's like ringing.
Okay. Tendinitis, did they call it tinnitus?
Tinnitus. yeah.
Tinnitus?
Tinnitus.
That's a general term. This means.
You think I was just smart, did
Who
you?
knows what it means?
No.
Anyway,
Yeah, those doctors are, they
for
were
3 years. Anyway, I did my patented treatment on that.
patented treatment.
On the ears?
Yeah.
On the base of the skull,
I know.
where tinnitus comes from,
All
and
the other
migraine
doctors are looking in the wrong place.
and vertigo. It all comes from the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm not too sure that he got the relief. When he left, he didn't get it. But it takes sometimes it takes that was on February 18th.
See, that's what makes you who you are. You're honest. And that you don't see. I mean, you're honest enough to say that didn't work for him.
No, he didn't say that.
He
And
said-
I'd say he doesn't know if it worked.
He doesn't know if he works. Okay,
Yeah.
It
I
might have
know.
worked. He
No,
hasn't
no.
come back.
So we'll see him. If it didn't, he should be back,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
he will. So I tell everybody, give it a few days. You got to give it 3 or 4 or 5 days, so that puts you in the second week.
Well, that's like the lady that you did that I brought in. Now she works out. No pain. With an elbow. She was popping a leaf like crazy. She got to a point where she couldn't even use the vacuum cleaner. Well, most women don't want to clean the house anyhow. And what happened was it became something so severe. He fixed it.
He took out the pain.
In 2 days, she was 100% fine.
Well, it's really funny. At the seminar, there was a lady in the back who
Yes,
heard
from that she was
that
from.
she was pregnant.
Yes.
And she asked a question. She says, I came here to ask you if a pregnant woman can take a shot and it doesn't hurt the fetus. And I spoke to her. She was way in the back on the right hand
Yeah, I
side.
remember that one.
And I asked her, why did you ask that question? And she says, I heard it on the show. And I wanted to make sure, because she says she's carrying low. I don't know what that means.
Doesn't mean anything.
And
Linda,
then
what does that mean?
when she's carrying
Okay.
low, Linda. I guess when she gets in her trimester and the pain is in the back and she's going to come see you, so she said. But that impressed me more than anything else because I thought that was just natural in childbirth, is to have that.
No,
pain.
it is not. No.
So
It's all a treatable condition. I mean, if you know where to treat it, you can treat that.
if you know where to look for it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's very fast. You don't have to take any pills or anything. We do it all. And we just put the medication where we want it. Does not affect the baby at all.
And everyone who's listening to this show on am2.tv or watching it on cable TV in New York and Atlanta, I know what we're saying as much as we can so you'll understand that this is not made up stuff. As I'm sitting here talking to you, we could do the reality show right from here.
Sure you can. But you want patience and
Yeah, we could do it right from his office, bring the microphones, anything, because this is so unbelievable that, when I met him, and you met him, we didn't think this was real. And then we're watching the people coming in and out of the office. It's just, I sit there, and the guy is telling me, remember, I was there when the guy was fooling around with your TV set. And this is, Doc, you probably don't know who the guy is because you see so
The guy was touching the TV set?
He shut the TV off. And
Doc, tell people not to touch the TV.
and the guy said, "This is the first time that I have no pain." I said, "What?" He said, "I have pain in so many parts of my body, and every time I come in here, I'm able to." He gets rid of a different part every time. He went up. He was my best. He was my best spokesperson. He was going up telling all the people, "If you don't go see this guy, you're crazy. You don't have to live in pain." And that's amazing from somebody. Usually, someone says, "Oh, he didn't help me." I have never.
Well,
never heard.
Doc, me and Linda, we eat out a lot, and we go to different places. And more and more people are beginning to recognize your name. A lot of people say, "Hey, where's that voice coming from? Aren't you on that Dr. Peepee's name or something?" And I say, "Dr. Pannozzo." "Oh, yeah, you know something? He's pretty good. He's pretty good." It's what people are beginning to say in the different places that we go around the area.
They have no idea.
Little by little.
How good.
I'm going to tell you something that I wasn't going to say, but I was sitting in Nordstrom's with my wife, and she was talking to me and saying to me, "Hey, I want you to work." I said, "Honey, I've got my iPad." Some guy says, "I know that voice." I said, "Do I know you?" He said, "No. You do this show, I think, I don't know what day it is." I said, "Two guys from Brooklyn?" He said, "No, with this doctor guy that cures everything." I said, "Dr. Pannozzo." And now I had to sit with this guy and explain. I mean,
they don't leave.
Is my voice that infectious that you could tell my voice that
yeah,
bad?
Sure, of course.
Well, you're infectious. I don't know about your voice.
I
But Giovanni and I ate at Moe's, and there was a gentleman, a Jamaican gentleman, and he said right away, "You're the guy on Dr. Pannozzo's show." I go, "Yeah." He says, "I went to see him. He's a Jamaican gentleman."
Oh, wow.
And he had bone spurs, he was told. And you told him, "That doesn't exist." He'll never forget that. He says, "The first thing that doesn't exist." and you took his pain out. My goodness gracious, I had a guest for an hour. He even sat down. She looked at me and says, "Dad, can't we even have lunch?" I said, "Apparently not."
We became stars by our voice.
Oh, jeez. And that's why I don't want to be on camera.
Oh, so you want me?
I want to have lunch.
Let me tell you, you know what it is? As we talk, it sounds like this is just, we don't rehearse anything. This is a show we just come in, we talk about successes.
It's the best kind of show, not to rehearse everything. Yeah. There are some failures, but it's so remote and minute.
Well, talk to me about another one.
Here's another one. January 6th, this person was in there. 4 to 5 months of shoulder pain referred to the hand. Okay? That's unusual in the beginning from shoulder. He was treated with injections. 4 to 5 months. The tingling went to the thumb.
Is that unusual?
Well, it's a particular location.
Okay.
And so it had to be C5-6. So I gave him 2 shots and that pain left.
Tell the people what C5-6 means. A lot of them, don't know as much as.
Well, it's a bone level.
Okay.
The bone number. It's a technical thing. And then that was January 6th. He came back on February 19th. It was another place. 2 more shots, gone. Now, what more do you want? I mean, here's a guy who had 4 to 5 months of pain in his neck. He was treated with shots, so he's not a reluctant person. I mean, it's a real thing. We took all of it away, 2 days, not even consecutive. It was January 6th and February 19th. These are real things. See, this is what you have to see on a reality show. You have to hear these people talk.
The more he's talking about this reality show, the more excited I'm getting. We do it in his office. You know what? We don't need anybody. We got the 3 most talented people here that could do the show.
I've been convincing them.
Okay. No, you know what? You know why? Because everything on a reality show, Freddie, if I'm wrong, because you've been doing this for a long time, everything on a reality show goes like this. These are paid actors. They are not real. We could do a show in reverse and say these are actual patients that have come to Dr. Pannozzo. I think it could be very interesting.
Right.
What do you think, Freddie?
I agree.
I'm not keeping you up, am I?
No.
Here's a...
Testimonials, right. That's what Linda said. She's right. Testimonials of people who are sitting in the office. I mean, the best reality show in the world is seeing people in your office.
Well, when we do their treatment, then we ask them to get their pain back. And they can't. And they'll tell you that. And you can see actual increased motion. And it's all recorded, by the way, before and after.
I think that's the most amazing thing.
That is the most amazing thing. This is never done.
No doctor's ever said, "Did you pay better?"
Nobody in the world could do this. This is my own invention. how it works.
Aren't you proud of yourself?
And
I
here's
think that's a
Something like
reality in itself.
that? It is a reality itself that someone could do something like that.
February 19th this year. Vertigo for 10 years. Vertigo for 10 years.
That could be one of my friends.
And this was a your friends aren't all dizzy.
If they hang around with me, they are. You know, Doc, next week we're going to bring all 76 files, all 76,000 files. We could do a reality show just on your files.
This is a 50. What? What did he say?
I said you got 76,000 patients. We could bring these. We could bring all these in and show them things
No.
that people have.
No, we want them to talk to the
Yeah, we can
to the camera. This is real stuff.
And you're going to see people cry because I've actually been in your office when people cried how they
do
feel.
cry. Vertigo for 10 years, 57-year-old lady.
Wow.
Always in her, always spinning to the right, mainly on the right. No neck or arm pain. She had, can't read my own writing.
Most you doctors can't.
That's right.
She had.
He must have wrote it.
She had a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you had a lot of treatment in 10 years.
Wow.
Lots of treatment.
For vertigo?
So
Yes.
we took that pain out, and she hasn't been back. So that was. She was saying right there in the exam room that that pain was leaving. I mean, it's almost instantaneous.
Mm-hmm.
So you have migraine or a vertigo, and they sit there, and I do my thing on that, and before they get up from sitting position, that is already starting to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who think, how is that possible? Because it's a fast-acting a painkiller with the steroid. So the steroid starts on in about a half hour, but the painkiller is on in 2 minutes. So now you know whether you got there or not.
And it never comes back.
And it does not come back because as a painkiller leaves, the steroid is taken effect. And so the next day it's gone. It's gone that day. So they can actually see, you can see them sitting up and they're starting to get up and say,
Yeah.
I think that's gone.
Yeah. I mean, I've
it works
actually,
just like that. I'm not kidding.
I've envisioned this thing 3 times with 3 different people, which is
The migraine and the migraine treatment is world class. There is nothing better than perfection, and that it is it. If you're running around with a migraine,
you're not running around if you have a migraine. You're sitting in
well, there's all kind of grades, but if you're
Or a
putting up
cluster
with
headache.
it or taking a lot of expensive medication and getting a lot of tests, don't. One day with us, it's gone. It ain't coming back.
And people are going to say to me or say to you, what makes what you do better than anybody else?
Because it's the source.
Thank you. That's the word I wanted to look for.
It's the source of the problem. Without that, you can't treat it. And whenever I fail, it's the wrong source. I don't fail anymore, but I mean.
No, I mean after how many years you've been doing this? 53.
Oh yeah.
53. 79,000 happy patients. Am I right?
I don't know.
Well, I have to keep track, Doc. I mean,
We'd have to keep track.
I got to. Well, let me say this. I haven't seen a patient that was unhappy. Am I right? I brought every time we have new listeners, and we have a lot of new viewers on New York. We get a lot of new people from 2 boys from Brooklyn, and the one thing that's great is when you have all these new patients coming in and they're getting cured from something that's so easy. And the bottom line is, Freddy and Linda and everyone out there, is that the beauty of what he does is it's done. There's nothing else to do. He fixes it. Remember that one, Doc, when we had the 2 people from 2 different age groups, both suffering from the same thing, both going for that one magic cure?
Well, one of the things that AMP has done, Les,
What's up, buddy?
as the doc is looking through his notes there,
Okay.
is that we sent out 1,000 question survey.
Oh,
It's
beautiful.
one of the new things that we're trying to do for the doctor's show. Asking specific questions, not the writings that you have, but
Right.
specific questions. What are the 9 most common ailments that you've had in your life?
Oh,
And we
wow.
were pretty surprised at some of the things that came back.
Really?
Yeah. Number one, and I went over this with the doc, and he can comment on it, was the plantar fasciitis.
Better known as heel spur.
Heel spur.
It's called plantar fasciitis.
That's right.
Did I do that right, Linda? Okay.
That's right. And as Dr. Pannozzo has says, that's the number one ailment that people have. But as the doc has says, doesn't exist, does it, doc? Heel spurs.
Does not.
Okay.
And people like Linda have taken a ton of cortisone
Yeah.
over the history of that ailment. So they're doing more damage than they're doing good, correct?
Well, it's a delaying of improvement. The podiatrists are mainly surgeons. They do not do musculoskeletal work. There is no surgery for this. Absolutely stay away from them. Come and see me instead.
But the funny thing here,
I mean it. I'll take care of it, and we do. And it's a one day treatment. That's all.
Isn't the cure worse?
Oh,
than the
God,
pain
that
than
shot
the
I heard.
cortisone? Isn't cortisone bad for the body?
No.
And the shot hurts. Linda cried for.
Oh, yeah, they
weeks.
give it right into that thing.
Well, they put it in the tendon, which is
Yeah.
painful anyway. You never touch those things.
So you put a shot right in there, and she was
Oh
crying for
no,
days.
it's just.
I know a lot of people, Doc, men and women, that jumped 50 feet when they had that done. That's so painful. I mean, what you do, it's 2 seconds. There's nothing. There's no pain at all. And maybe it wasn't a heel spur. Maybe it was something else.
Maybe something else. Second one was torn rotator cuff. That they say you can't lift your arm over your head. Was the second most.
Really?
Rotator cuff does not exist.
They say.
That's the best diagnosis that an orthopedic surgeon. Everybody's got a rotator cuff. In fact, nobody has a rotator cuff. Here's the test for it. We're on TV, so you can see it. This is it.
That's it.
If that works, no rotator cuff. It's a
Affects the
supraspinatus tendonitis is what it is.
Ooh. All right, Linda, let the doc be the doc. Take it
you
easy.
said-
Take it easy. And these are things that you can fix.
She's a second bencher, like they used to say in England.
She's a doctor that will never
A
become a
back
doctor.
bencher.
You don't talk too bad about my window.
But doc, those things that people say they have, they're going
There's
through surgery.
you read 10 of them, didn't you?
Yeah, where's the
Yeah,
third one?
that's the second one. Third one is runner's knee, which I don't know what it means.
I don't know either.
No.
But it
Nobody
is
does.
50% of the business of orthopedic surgeons.
Yeah, go on. Then it doesn't exist.
I mean, we don't know what it is.
No.
It could be.
Well, hold on. I want to stop right there. Tim, who you know, I won't give his last name out, was a runner for years, run marathons in Boston. You'll remember the story when I tell you. He had gone he was told that he has to go for 2 surgeries in his knee. The one he already had done. I said, before you go into that next one, go see Dr. Pannozzo. Then, the young guy worked at the radio. He came in, got the shot. I don't know how many it was, 1 or 2, but he hasn't gone for knee surgery, and he's running on the second knee. Second knee, the doctor said, I don't know what you're doing, but, don't go in for surgery. It's fine.
I don't think anybody should be operated.
No. Well, no,
At all.
no.
There's no such thing as cartilage in the knee. It's there, but that's not where the problem is. The problem is in the ligament around it.
That's right. Looking in the wrong area again.
Looking in the wrong area. It's attached to the cartilage.
Not only do you say that, but the Journal of American Medical Association says almost 36% now, it's went up, of people that go in for knee surgery do not need it.
Well, this is in the New England Journal of Medicine years ago when I was a student. Well, they had a big article said, do not do surgery on a knee on the cartilage. They still do it.
Why?
I don't know.
50% of orthopedic surgeries are coming from that diagnosis. That's
Exactly
why.
right. 100% right. You're exactly right.
Meniscus surgery should not be done. Anybody listening? I mean, I'd stake my life on it. You don't do it.
Come and see the doc and get an opinion before you have
And the
that.
doctor's 93 years old, so his lifespan isn't that great right now. But, Doc, you know what I'm going to say to people? Before you go in, before your doctor told you that you need surgery, okay, it is just the simplest thing in the world. Come over and see the doctor. That's all. You don't want to get a shot, Joe, but let him give you a second opinion that will cause you from not having to go in for surgery. I think that's important.
So here's another one. A knee pain for 10 years. 68-year-old man.
Wow.
He had injections. The knee gives out and was not hot. Now, that's the other thing you have to look for. If it's hot and swollen, it's a reaction to the inside of the joint. If it's cool, and no excess fluid when you touch it, then it's on the outside. Okay,
Wow.
right away you make a distinction. You don't have to be a real famous doctor like me to do that.
Well, you're
I'm
world
telling you-
renowned right
I'm
now.
telling you how to do it.
But then you know where the problem is.
Well, you know if it's on the inside or
Right.
the outside. If it's on the outside, treat the outside.
And if it's on the inside?
Now, somebody was I was treating a knee. Let me finish this off, then I'll tell you that story.
Okay.
10 years knee pain and lower back pain. Climbing steps was really hard. Now, remember that climbing steps is not in the knee; it's a patella. It's outside the knee. It's kneecap. So you can treat that, and that you can climb steps after that. Anyway, his lower back, we treated that on February 16th. He comes back on the 19th. Remember, the low back pain was not there on the 19th. That's 3 days later. That pain was gone.
Okay.
The main complaint that day, on the 19th, was patella. Couldn't climb steps. Gave him a shot there, and that's the end of that. We haven't seen him since. Done. That's what people would see on a show like that, like we were describing.
Well, the more we talk about it, the more exciting that thing gets when you could actually see the scenario. You like that word, Doc? The scenario of a show.
Scenario.
Yeah, look, I'm a little crazy, but you know what? The more I spend time with you, I think my greatest thrill is watching people coming into that office half broken and walking out going, oh, gee, I feel, wait, oh, Doc, especially golfers.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
seen so
they,
many golfers coming into his thing, and the beauty of what he does, he takes a picture of you, Freddy. You know this. We have that on TV.
And also that too.
You see that the person cannot get the full
Take a
swing.
movie.
And it's even young people, not just older people.
Anybody.
And then he gives a shot, and then you watch them do that full range of motion. You know what that means? That could be somewhere in the neighborhood. If you're a good golfer, that's 50 yards. If you're a good golfer, to be able to get that full. If you watch, did you watch the golf to see how Rory McIlroy, his body is perfectly still from the waist down, gets that full range of motion, and he smacks that ball 325 yards.
Why do you think he could do that?
Full range of motion.
Range of motion, no scar tissue.
No,
Wait till he gets hurt.
like Tiger.
Like Tiger.
No, really.
But these are guys that can still get fixed, Doc. They just
Sure.
have to come see
Well,
you.
Tiger could get fixed. I mean, somebody asked me if Tiger ever come in the office. I mentioned him so much. I said, well, he's a public figure, so he can do that. No, he has not come in the office. That's why he's not hitting the ball.
That's right.
I'd like to make a bet with anybody, a big bet. that I could get him back on the golf course in 2 weeks.
So anyone that has Tiger's number or his agent,
Give us a call.
give Dr. Pannozzo a call at 561-381-5800. And make sure you bring in a couple golf balls that's signed by Tiger Woods, because I'll tell you something. You could see the difference in participation when Tiger isn't playing.
Yeah.
Phil Nicholson, I don't know if it was Phil, it could have been somebody else that said, we have to thank Tiger Woods for the monies we're making now.
Sure,
He's an
opened it
icon.
up.
There is no one that I've ever seen
By
that
the way,
was greater
I'm
than
not too
Tiger
sure
Woods.
Mickelson has what he says he has.
Yeah, he has
I don't see how that works.
psoriatic arthritis,
I
right?
remember mechanism of disease.
Right.
Why is this psoriatic arthritis and not regular a ligament pull?
I didn't know it's psoriatic, but I heard
Because
that.
a pharmaceutical company is selling a cream
Yeah,
or a pill.
a pill.
Well, there is psoriasis, but why is it attached to arthritis
I have no
of
idea.
And
the
wait.
thumb? Of the thumb, which is treatable.
Listen to this. The drug that I take is good for psoriasis, arthritis, and Crohn's disease. So how do they know what disease I have? Think about. I think
But
about
it
that.
doesn't matter. You're taking the pill.
Oh.
You're buying the pill.
It's inflammation. Is that the reason? Inflammation.
It's
You're
inflammation.
okay. You taught me that. I asked my doctor if I could take shots from you, and I told him what it was. He said, "Oh yeah, by all means." I said, "Why?" He said, "Gets rid of inflammation. That's what you got. Inflammation doesn't matter. If you got
That's
inflammation, it's only going to help it. It's not going to hurt it."
That's
And
true.
this was a top gastroenterologist.
Yeah, our system has no downside to it.
There's
at
no
all.
side effects.
No side effects, no downside, nothing. You don't get worse. You can only get better.
If I
People
told
call me up when they don't want to pay the bill.
yeah,
I got worse. The shots made me worse. I said,
can't.
get a life, lady. Pay the bill.
You know what? Guy's funny. Hey, my boy right here. Look, there have been many people that are happy, and there have been many people who said, "Get out of here." No.
It's also spring training. They
Yeah,
boys
and
starting
those
on
guys are going
Friday.
to start getting hurt right away.
But it's funny. You go to see how a ball player who had a torrid 3 months and injured his left shoulder
wow.
and disappeared, and they gave him 2 cortisone shots.
Wow.
But he could not. He didn't have flexibility, and all of a sudden he became. He was a superstar for next month.
How we doing on time?
We got plenty of time.
Okay, we got
Make sure you got your notes. So
the last,
I don't
the
have
last
dead air.
real patient that we saw
The road
from
patient.
February 8th. She had 23 years old. She had a scoliosis, and she of course wouldn't take her clothes off, go to the beach. In Florida, you don't go to the beach because of it. And
That's very.
and then she had a lot of pain lately for 3 months with the curvature. So she had physical therapy. We gave her she had a scoliosis with rotation of the bone. So we gave her 2 levels of injections, and she straightened right out. You could actually see it on the C-arm.
No one should suffer
So
from that.
it stores an image. So you do before and after, and you can compare them both.
So let me ask you a stupid question I've asked many times before. Why bless you. Now you know in the Jewish religion, if I say something and you sneeze, we know it's true. Now it's doubly true. As you can see, folks, we are live on here. Okay. One of the things that the naysayers always say is how come the top hospitals in the country, according to them, that take care of children, are saying that what he does is impossible.
Who says that?
Well, they go and tell the doctor. I heard this on Dr. Pannozzo. They say it's impossible. You can't
Well,
you
who's
can't
saying-
fix scoliosis by a shot.
Who's saying that?
I don't know the patients, but
Well,
I'm
they ought not to say
assuming
it
people are
because
doing it.
They ought not to say that unless they talk to me first.
Right, but
If they want to see it. I've offered the doctors who treat this, I said, bring your patient in with you. I'll show you how to do it.
Right.
You can see the results on the C-arm right in front of your eyes. Nobody takes me up on it.
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
I'll tell you why. I've been studying in my own brain why.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
This is a scary thought,
This
Doc.
could be very embarrassing. My right
his
side
own-
is telling my left side what to do.
In his own brain, not the
Hold on.
borrowed brain.
Oh, his own.
He has his own brain.
Okay. You go to a doctor that you know for 25 years and says, what can I do about Sally with the scoliosis? I want you to go to the hospital, okay? Naturally, she's going to go. It's her daughter. Goes, and he said, look, the best thing we could do for her, let me take an MRI, let me do all this. Here's what we got to do. I've got to put the rods in because that's the only thing that's going to keep her straight up. Okay, and the mother says, will she be able to do that? And said, well, it might limit her. So you saying what you say, they're saying, what? How could this be that a doctor could cure scoliosis? I have proof that if anyone wants to challenge this man, we've got proof on X-ray showing when they came in and how they look.
Yes.
And this is gone once you do the shot. No, it's not going to be done in one shot.
They don't talk to me because they don't want to know the
No.
truth. The best way to get rid of me is not to give me any notoriety.
That's why we're doing this. We're giving you notoriety worldwide.
But
I'm serious.
but I'm trying to educate you so you don't do a thing like that. I think that putting rods in a 15-year-old girl is tantamount to
Yeah,
killing her.
yeah. I believe that.
It's just horrible. And they never grow out of it. They always have pain. I see them coming in my office at 50, 60, 70 years old with the pain from that and inflammation. Once you get involved with the bone structure, you get a lot of calcium formation. That's where all the inflammation and pain comes from. It's ligament bone connector, and you're disturbing that when you put that in. The theory is that we'll stop this from going worse.
Mhm.
Not true.
Really? So let me ask you a question.
The
What-
theory is wrong. Yes, it stops you from getting worse, but is that what you want to do? I would say no. You want to improve it, not make it stop from getting worse.
But does it hurt movements? I mean, you can't move the way you did
No, you
before.
can't. So you get inflammation there, and so we treat that. That's why I know this stuff. I mean, people walk in my office with it, and we take care of it.
You have any more of those other questions, Freddie, that the people are asking, the injuries, or do you want to go? Do you want to do another
they
one,
had
Doc?
number 4, which is interesting, was concussion.
Oh, we know that one.
Well, I saw this morning, where doctors in Boca Raton are still looking at the rattling of the brain causing problems for concussion.
Right.
And I wanted Doc to touch on a little bit about it's not the brain.
No,
It's
it's not.
somewhere in the back of the neck. Yes, Doc?
No, it isn't.
Go. Do your thing.
It's the neck, and you have to know how to examine for it, and hardly anybody knows how. I mean, this is really true. If you look at the qualifications of those who are making this, are you okay, Freddie?
Yes, Les is making me laugh.
I like to make him laugh and see if he can hold it and go.
He's making me laugh. You have no idea what he's doing.
If you look at the qualifications of who are diagnosing these things, no one examines the neck.
Know what?
You have radiologists, you have orthopedic surgeons, you have neurosurgeons, and who knows else, but nobody really does this kind of work, the musculoskeletal work that I do. And you say, how is it possible? You're the only one. Well, it is, and it is. So,
Because that's what you studied.
yeah, well,
Well, first of all, what you said about the neck, it's now come to fruition. What you said about the neck,
most people
they're
are starting
finding
to
out,
realize
doctors,
that because when they
Yeah.
do the test for the
Yeah.
brain, they don't find anything.
because they have the helmet, and when they're hitting like this.
Now, somebody said that what's his name in prison has brain damage now from being hit so much.
O.J.
in football.
Simpson, yes.
They'll blame anything on football. That is not. How could he? Maybe he had just brain damage because he has brain damage.
Yeah.
You know, Alzheimer's is a big problem in the country, and most of them do not play football.
Right.
I mean, most of them do not play football, yet they're in nursing homes now with brain damage. So you can't blame it on that.
Well, I think to me, when you see the way these guys get hit with that veracity, it's the first thing that goes in is the neck. You see, the neck is like that.
There's no way to stop that because they can't take the motion out of the neck.
Right.
Because you need that to run and look around and so forth. So I don't know what the answer to that is, except to know it's a neck and get it treated. If you don't know how to treat it, call me up. I'll tell you.
So if you're listening to the show in New York, or this is toll free, you can call up at 800-889-0267, or if you want to call Dr. Pannozzo after the show, it's 561-381-5800. And you know what's amazing, folks? I'm a patient. My associate here is a patient. People at iHeartMedia are patients because there's nothing worse to me than pain. I mean, I don't know how you could just sit there and have this kind of pain and not take advantage of someone. If you live in South Florida, or better yet, Doc, our people that live up in New York, they see you live every other show. You know, if you want to come down on a golf trip for a golf vacation, just call us up. We'll take care of your hotel, and I guarantee that you will get up to 40 yards on the most important swing is the golf swing on the drive. Because I've sent people to you, and they said the same thing. They said, freaking amazing. I can go all the way back. I said, gee, you think I was lying?
No, that's all true. Everything we talk about is true.
You know, taking a half swing isn't to get that ball down the fairway. Then you have a tougher second shot. You feeling okay, Doc? You look like you're not feeling well.
It is a little allergy.
I know, I got the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc, I got a
All
question.
three of us too.
I got a question that came in on the box here. If, let's say my son had a concussion, he's playing football in Atlanta or wherever in the country, he fell on his head, his helmet came off, he has a concussion. They fly down to come and see you. Can you remove all of the side effects and everything that's going on with this concussion by seeing him a couple of times?
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that part. Really?
Now,
Wow.
that in itself,
Shoot.
if you're listening to this
Wow.
program and you have a concussion, they should come see you.
Yeah, they should.
I saw a center for a high school, position for a high school being treated in his third month for concussion that he had 3 months ago. They do 22 tests him a week. Follow my finger, the whole
Really?
nine.
Wow.
There
And
is
they're
no
looking in the
brain
brain.
damage. We talked about the brain before. It's encased in fluid. You can't hurt it. Not unless you have a direct blow with the fracture of the bone of the skull. Otherwise, you're not going to hurt that brain.
I know. I've been hitting the front of my head.
And some neurologist is going to call me up and say, "Yeah, you can do that." Well, once in a while, maybe, but overall, no. All the damage take place lower in the movable parts, which is the neck. And if you don't know how to examine for the neck, you don't get it. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, you don't do surgery.
No, we don't do.
You
the
don't do
surgery.
drugs.
No, we do treatment only.
Of the source of the pain, and that's always the main thing that people don't understand. You're able, you study physics. You know how the body is supposed to move and what parts move.
Yep.
And being a skeletal physician,
Well, it's conceptual. You have to know what causes the pain in the musculoskeletal system, and then you have to be able to treat the source.
and you're a
Did you-
real doctor.
Freddie, did you go through all the? There were seven of them, right?
Next one is hamstrings at number
6.
number five.
Five.
Is hamstrings.
Yeah, that happens once in a while, or rarely. And I had one the other day.
I'm gonna
Golfer.
tell you something, Doc. That's it. I wish I knew you. That is an amazing. Did you cure that when you
Yeah,
had
we
the other
did.
day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Was
You
it
just
in the
have to follow
hamstring
it.
itself?
You have to
Or the
it's a
hip?
big muscle that moves the
It's
knee.
huge.
Yeah, it flexes the knee. That's what the hamstring does. And if you follow that, you can find out where the sources are. Remember, if it's a real hamstring, then it's a muscle bone connector. And you have to be able to know that it's there. You have to find it, and then we put a small amount of steroid in there, and it wipes it right
And the
out.
guy walked right out.
Walks right out.
You see, that's an amazing. With me coaching,
No bench time.
no bench time. Man, where were you?
You would
10
have given your eye teeth for that.
You are not kidding.
Oh, are you kidding me? You know what that would mean to people?
I mean, if you're a coach and you have your kids injured, what does it cost you to come in and have the doc take a look?
West at I figured this out. West at a cafe latte at Starbucks every day.
Yeah, but it's invaluable. It could be your key runner.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't drink
He's
that
nuts.
stuff.
I don't listen. Number 6, Achilles tendonitis. Big stuff. Achilles tendonitis.
I feel very
So
left out
painful
today.
that it's inflamed that you can't even walk if you have it.
Well, I don't know how you can get that because without getting the other one too, because it's a very, very tough
Area?
ligament. It's very, very tough. You could get a pull out of the bone, but that should be treated in one day. Just take the inflammation away. It should be. However, if it's referred,
Big change.
if it's referred from the knee or the lower back, now you got a problem, and we could treat that.
That's
because
right.
We know
We
about
just
it.
got to find it.
Yeah.
How about someone comes in from their podiatrist and says, we're going to have to shoot your ankle up and put a boot on and give you some medication? I said, come to see him first.
That's right.
Guess where the referred pain was?
But that's the
In
way they
back.
treat that, the Achilles tendonitis.
You have
That's
any
right.
more?
I got the old groin pull.
Oh, my
Oh, groin
favorite.
pull.
Train groin. That's number 7.
That's Wes's
Number 8,
favorite.
the old, and that's the one you had
Yes, I
taken
did.
care of. And you know they go about that to fix that about 100 different ways.
Yeah, therapy, they want you to do therapy right away. And then you end up with the groin pull being
Therapy,
worse.
they don't know anything about this. The physical therapy and chiropractic are trade schools. They're not medicals. They do specific tasks. They're not taught to think.
Let me just say this, folks. It's over a
It's
year
not
now.
brutal either. It's the truth. So, and I'm talking to them anyway. I'm talking to the people who use those services. You got to know what you're doing. By the way, if you want to buy my book, just call me up, send me a check. I'll
Name of the
send it
book, Doc. What's the name of the book?
Send me a check.
Arthritis and other pain syndromes.
Funny.
Give me a check.
Or they could go to Amazon, right? Buy the book from Amazon.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
can go to
get
his
it from
website
me,
to
it's
order it as
cheaper.
well.
Get it from him. It's cheaper, okay.
That's right. And he'll sign the book.
Oh,
The
if
book
he
is
signs
free,
book,
but the
it's
signature you have
$2
to
extra.
pay.
The seminar people all got a free book.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They were so happy about that. In fact, the lady that came in to see you asked me how much is the book. I said, "You gonna go see him?" She said, "Yes, it's free." She said, "I was gonna go see him no matter what." Go ahead.
We have ACL injuries number 8.
Oh,
We
God,
already
that's-
talked about that. And Doc doesn't like ACL
No, he doesn't.
conversation. But number 9 is interesting. The tennis and golf elbow pain. It is the degeneration of the, you got to help me here, Doc, epicondyle tendon of the elbow.
Epicondyle.
It's called lateral or medial epicondylitis.
That's the one.
Inflammation of the condyle. But
That's the-
what's there? Muscle.
But they're saying that that's the problem.
That isn't the problem.
I know it's not the problem.
It's a
That's why I
problem,
brought it up.
but it's easily treated. I mean, the trouble is, it has many sources to start with. It's not one source. It's many, like this. Interdigitate, all of those. You have to follow each one, and it's treatable in one day.
But the interesting word they used was degeneration.
It is not degeneration. It's
I
just
know
an
that.
injury. It's a pull out of the bone. It's a muscle-bone connector.
So those are the 9
You know,
that
the
we
other
got.
term for that is called an enthesitis.
Enthesitis.
That's a technical term that we use in my field. Enthesitis means
that's-
muscle-bone connector.
And you have multiples. You have to find the one that's
You
inflamed.
have multiple sources, so you have to chase it down.
And once you take that inflammation out,
Does not come back.
can there be another tendon that gets inflamed?
These aren't tendons. These are muscles.
Could there be another muscle?
There
that
is
gets
no
inflamed?
tendons. Usually it's a ligament or muscle.
Really?
Yeah.
You
Did
just,
you know that?
of course I knew that.
Yeah, you're right. Of course you knew that. Of course.
He knows everything.
All I can tell you is about groin pain. Let me tell you. I don't care who you are.
You cry like a baby. Like.
That's your favorite area, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you something. I know a lot of these docs. Don't talk. And you didn't touch my boys, which are okay, doctor. You were good on that.
You cry like a baby.
Yeah, but guess what? I slept on a chair, a special chair to get. Whoever had groin pain knows it's painful. Now, let me ask you a stupid question. You're paying hundreds of millions of dollars for this athlete who's running, gets groin pain. He's out for 4 weeks.
If not longer.
I went to the gym I went to see him on a Monday. I was at the gym on Tuesday.
And you're not even an athlete. You're not even
And
worth
I'm
the dollar
nobody.
as
I'm
an
not worth
athlete.
$100 million.
I know. I would keep you on the bench. Though.
My wife says I'm worth more alive than dead.
No, you're worth more dead than alive.
More dead than alive. Okay.
Let's read some questions.
Go ahead. Read them.
Good, Doc. You
Bob
got 'em.
from Boca Raton writes, I heard you had a seminar last week.
Well, you
Wanted
missed it.
If you have arthritis in my legs. Well, arthritis in the legs doesn't mean anything. You got to get a doctor who's going to be tell you the truth or is educated. There is no such thing as arthritis in the legs. You could have a knee pain, you could have an ankle pain, you could have a hip pain, you could have a low back pain, but none of that is arthritis. Arthritis, the term, does not have any meaning. It just means pain somewhere. So yeah, we could treat that.
But he also says lower back. Could it be a deferred pain, Doc?
Well, then he says, I've had knees and a bad lower back. Can you help me? Well, of
Of course,
course.
he can't help you.
So that could also be all deferred. You know, David Wright is here in Port St. Lucie. They're only going to let him play 130, 140 games because they want to make sure that his back, what is that, stenosis?
Well, that's a bad diagnosis. I don't believe that at all.
I think it's his hip.
He should come and see me. He really
Well, I
should.
tried to get that, Doc, but there was 2,000 people ahead of me.
Yeah, that place was
It was packed. Unbelievable.
To
but I
see
want-
what?
To see them practice.
Oh, you
Oh,
kidding?
see
How
it
good to see
practice.
these
Oh.
guys play.
But I would like to slip him your card, so just give me that when you leave.
Rick from New York City writes, told my parents in Boca about you, and they have gone to see you for a bad hip. They say you're
They call you the Miracle Man.
a miracle man, and I wanted to know if you worked on
Oh,
bad
here it is.
shoulders. Yes.
Here's a
Rotator
rotator cuff injury.
Right.
Yeah. No, well,
Doc, you got it. We're on the air. You have to read it out.
well he's been
Let's-
treated.
Doc, you give the answer. Okay, here we
He's
go.
been treated for almost a year, and the problem hasn't gotten any better. Well, the treatments are bad because the diagnosis is bad.
Right.
But they
It's
want-
very
they want-
simple.
They want to have
If
surgery.
it doesn't work, the diagnosis is faulty.
They want him to have surgery, Doc.
Not well, of course. That's the
Oh, then I got
that's the end result of that.
I got something right here.
Orthopedic surgeons do not treat shoulders.
No.
They don't know how.
Right. I was going to read something.
Because why? Because they know how to operate.
Well, that's the reason. That's when you say surgeon, it's surgery.
Yeah, that's what it means.
They cut it out.
Yeah.
Joyce from Atlanta writes, I went to the radio station to see if I could find you.
They thought you were there live,
Oh my God.
They say you're in Florida.
and it's a tape show.
My husband has a lower back, and the doctors say there's nothing they can do for me. Of course, that's them. So walk out of there. They don't know
Doctor
what
say
to do
he has
for
a
you.
lower back pain. There's nothing you could. You got to read the questions, doc, because
There
nobody
are
can
days
hear
you can't.
Okay, hold it. We're going to do this the way we always schedule it. I'm going to read the questions.
Oh, wait a minute. There are days he can't tie his shoes, and the pain is like a knife in the lower back on the right
Will
side. I
Loafers.
think that's a hip.
Right.
That is a hip, for sure. I bet you a
Oh,
penny.
look, she writes it's his condition, a degenerate hip, as the doctors have said to him, with no help in sight. This is another surgery. They're saying that he has a degenerate.
There is
hip.
no such thing as degeneration. It's a repair process.
But isn't that a scary word?
Yeah, I think
You
so.
tell me I have a degenerate
Well, that's why.
anything,
That's
I
why
get
they
scared.
use it. That's why they use it. As soon as they say degenerative, you're all.
You're
You have
panicking.
nightmares. Your body's falling apart. It is not.
What I love what he says. Did you ever hear me? He tells you like a regular person. He doesn't give you these fancy $100 words. I'm going to read the next question, Doc.
I wish I knew $100 words.
Sandy from Boynton Beach writes, I've been a mailman for about 22 years and just finished working for them. As mail carriers, our back, knees, and arms get pretty beaten up. I've had a bad back for many years, and the docs give me aspirin and cortisone shots every once in a while. I was told cortisone isn't good for you. Is this true?
No.
Okay. I was also told I have a bulging disc in my lower back and need surgery. This is where you come in. Is that a good diagnosis?
No.
Okay, explain why.
Doesn't tell you anything.
Okay.
A bulging disc everywhere.
What is a bulging
I don't
disc?
even know what a
I
bulging
don't
disc
even know
is.
what it is. It's a radiologist's concoction to help the surgery.
Right.
So
I mean,
they got a big lump in the disc.
Is that what it is? I never knew what a bulging disc was.
Discs don't bulge.
Discs don't bulge in the kitchen. Beans
Hey,
don't fry.
do you know, Doc, that there is a new film that came out? They show from Germany. That they show this machine that goes in, and it's pretty complicated. They take the disc out. They put in some kind of alloy disc in the spine. First of all, isn't there a spinal cord that goes in through there?
Not lower. No.
Oh, really?
It,
Not
it,
lower?
it ends at L1.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, that one I didn't know, Freddie.
Linda,
I
you knew
did
that?
not know that.
But-
Oh, look at Linda.
but you
look
see-
like a poodle. Yeah, you know everything.
But you see, the what you're describing is taking the disc out
yes.
and putting what in?
They're putting in a 5 minutes less. They're putting in a metal what they call that material that doesn't rot. It goes in your back. But the way they separate the spine, they put it in there, then they fuse it.
Well, if they would treat the ligament that surrounds the disc instead of replacing
And
it,
she's in the wrong thing.
they would.
I know
they
that
would.
it came out of Germany. It's the latest stuff. Everybody's
It
having
is not the
done.
latest stuff. That's been done years and years ago.
Really?
I do the latest stuff. I do state of the art.
And that
And I know
operation
the
costs
difference.
$300,000.
I know the difference.
$300,000.
And we do it for $450. Take care of the whole thing.
I mean, think about that. You know what, Doc? There's a reason. We should charge $45,000.
That's
Oh.
right.
And we'll get more patients in. Because no one can believe. All right, let me get to the next one.
That's for what?
This is from New York. Raymond from New York writes, I watched your shows on Manhattan. What's MNN? Manhattan Day? Oh, Manhattan Cable.
Network. Yeah.
And wanted to know if you have found migraine and vertigo. Has the medical community know about the situation and they refuse to share it with the public? Plus, have they contacted you to explore how this could change so many lives and in the future? Why don't they? Why would they? That's a great question, actually.
Well, here's the problem. In order to do what I do, you have to understand the physiology of the back, how it's made, what it's supposed to do, and what happens when it fails to do that. It's also a physics problem, a weight-bearing issue. You have to know the anatomy, how it's being used, and then you have to know a little bit more about physics and how you bear weight. And then you could perhaps learn what I do. And
3 minutes, okay.
it's very complicated, so you're not going to expect, unless they bring me in and I could teach them how to do it.
What do
no
we do
problem.
a school class for them?
Well, they're not, unless they get hours, then they're not going to come to it. They have to have hours. And we had a contact that was supposed to do that, and she didn't do that. It was, she was just
She refused
Big
to do
mouth.
it also.
That was a big mouth. She couldn't do it. I hate that.
Cracks me up.
Personally, I don't like that. If you have something to offer, you better have it.
Bring it.
Don't come around and say you have something when you don't.
Bring
'Cause
it.
We'll find
Tell her.
out real fast.
Doc, tell her, bring it. Bring it.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on, baby.
You got 2 minutes. You
And
got
I,
one more.
I bet anyway, but I don't bet more than a penny.
A penny. That's okay.
Penny, because it's the principle of the thing.
Is that principal with an AL?
It's
All right, 2 minutes. You got
Abigail
one
in
more.
Atlanta writes, you have been in the medical field for over 50 years, and there are no other doctors that do what you do, and this includes any age of patient. Why doesn't the medical schools teach future doctors what you do for a living? Have you ever lectured on your findings in the medical schools?
Well, I just broached that subject. It's very difficult to get in. They teach what they teach. Now, if I go in there and I start lecturing, and the professors there are going to say, "You mean we've been doing this wrong?" Yes, you have been. I mean,
Don't you guys all take the Hippocratic oath that you're supposed to help patients?
Aren't you supposed to share information?
Yeah, that's what bothers me.
we could share it, but
You're always open to share with other doctors. And if you're a doctor out there, I mean, come on in. Sit and talk to the man, maybe.
Give Dr. Pannozzo. If you're a doctor, we want you to call Dr. Pannozzo and learn something.
561-381-5800. No, I'm serious.
Why not?
What it does is it makes you a better individual that you're curing people with pain. We only have a minute to go, Doc. As always, thank you for your knowledge.
well, thank you. Thank you.
We had a
done
little
quick.
funny. I was making faces at Freddy, so he laughed a little because he looked like he was.
Better
Oh,
watch it. You know, this film is going to be in Dr. Pannozzo's waiting room.
I want to thank everybody.
Yeah,
again.
that's true.
If you're in pain, folks, please don't suffer. Get a second opinion.
Call
It's-
that number.
It's 581.
No.
No, it's 561-381-5800. This man guarantees success.
That's right.
And nobody out there in the medical field guarantees success.
And we are living proof. And there's the phone. That's right. You call that number, 561-381-5800. Les, good show.
A great show. Thank you so much for being in there and helping us. You can take this call.
He's going to take the call. Okay.
I'm going to go pee.
This has been the Dr. Pannozzo Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. If you spend 5 minutes with Dr. Pannozzo, you'll see he genuinely enjoys helping others. Visit Dr. Pannozzo online at www.paincentersnationwide.com or call him at 561-381-5800. Dr. Pannozzo will consult with you to determine the best solution to your pain needs. 561-381-5800 is the number to call, even if it's just for a second opinion. Join Dr. Pannozzo next week when he brings you more important information on the physics of weight-bearing and engineer concepts